Independent Black Media, 900 AM WURD 96.1 FM, WURDradio.com. Make sure you listen live and log on anytime. If you don't have that word membership, you know what to do. Go hard with your card. Membership has its privileges. Right now, I am Aaron Smith. Well, I'm always Aaron Smith, but Aaron Smith, Kawesa the super producer, J. Scott 2T's taking over technology, and we have a community in the studio. We talk about what we need to do, and I always advocate for us coming together. You know, all the politicians that we can't contact, you know, right after Election Day and, you know, initiatives from Washington. I like all that stuff. I tell people to vote. You know, November 6th, we're going to do the darn thing. We're going to vote them out, and we're going to get impeachment popping. I'm with it. But first and foremost, we as a community need to come together and have conversations that are beneficial to us directly in the community. The Word on Violence initiative is something that's an ongoing project to try to bring more peace and more understanding and more solution-based conversations to the community. And right now, we have Catherine Searight in the studio, and we also have Alissa Jackson in studio. I'll make sure I put respect on everybody's names. I always tell people to put respect on Kwasa's name, and I look crazy messing up people's names after I spend my whole day talking about get their name right. So just, you know, greet the people, say hello, let them know that, you know, you're really in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, if Alissa, if you don't mind going first, just briefly just talk about your story, what brings you here, and just share with the family, the WRD family, your perspective on violence in our community.
What brings me here today at WURD, my son Symir Walker was murdered Friday night by gun violence, senseless gun violence. I am here I'm here to clear his name, first of all, and just get some help with ending the gun violence in this community.
Now, when you say clear his name, what are the other media outlets reporting that needs to be set straight?
That he was the target. My son Symir was not the target. The area in which we live is the target. He was just an innocent person coming from playing basketball that evening with his friends.
And we also have Sean Walker in studio. I'll make sure people know whose voice is talking. This is Dad talking, right?
Yes.
And you said he was just an innocent victim.
Innocent victim. He was a basketball game guy. He wasn't in no gang. He didn't run with the bad boys or nothing like that. He was just a basketball game boy. And this was senseless.
Now, what were these other media outlets even saying? Like, where'd they get this idea that he was somebody that he obviously wasn't?
That's their own opinion. They know it's something going on in the neighborhood, and they just tried to affiliate my son with that.
Gotcha.
He was not that.
Yes.
Not by a long shot.
No, not at all.
We lived in that community, and that was it. He played with his friends. It was reported it was the guy with the young boy was 12. But my son was 16, and he was a kid at heart. All he did was want to play basketball. He wanted to go to Temple for college. And do play games, play with his siblings. He's not a street runner.
He's not a street
not
runner
at all.
At all.
And what area is this? What?
South Philadelphia.
South Philadelphia. And where did it occur?
He was killed on 12th and Fitzwater, and we reside on Catherine Street.
And you said the other media outlets just were trying to include him in a lifestyle basically that was not his lifestyle.
Correct. No. Yes.
Not at all.
And just say his name again for the people.
Symir Walker.
Now, this is important when we talk about independent black media, because part of what we're able to do is to shift the narrative closer to what the truth is.
Yes.
Because a lot of times they just want to talk in sound bites. They'll come to your neighborhood, and I've been through this a couple times myself. I mean, we was living on 17th Jefferson and 15th Jefferson. We lived on 17th Diamond and also 15th Ridge. And the news would come by, and you would think from the time they spent and how many people they talked to, you'd be like, oh, they got the story.
Right.
They talked to like 10 people out here. Like I thought they was investigating.
No, they make up their own story.
Yeah. Then they leave. They got an hour of commentary. You look at the news that night, and you like, who they talk to?
Exactly.
And then they flash like 5 seconds of what somebody said and try to twist that a little bit.
Right.
So no, this is important for people just to be able to express themselves in a way that people can understand things, because they try to pathologize our communities and make people think like everybody is just trying to kill everybody all the time. And there's people, like you said, people got lives, and they're law-abiding, and the young people just having dreams like everybody else.
Exactly.
And sometimes tragic things happen. And it doesn't suit their interest to say maybe it's, the gun laws, or maybe it's...
It is the gun laws.
You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's the education. Like, maybe some things that we could fix and work on and take some responsibility for, that's, the cause in a lot of these problems. So a lot of times when you have people who don't have these platforms, they know that they go in that neighborhood, they don't got no radio station, no TV station.
Exactly.
So they know when they're having these conversations how imbalanced it is and what kind of license they could take without repercussions. Because if I live in a community, if I say something like that, somebody probably gonna knock on my door. Somebody gonna run down on me and be like, "Yo, what's that stuff you was talking last week? You talking crazy?" Like, but they know they're gonna stay in the community for about 20 minutes to an hour and never come back to community again unless it's something that they could, exploit. So no, I think that a lot of times we need to hold these other media outlets accountable and really push back and challenge them in a way that they don't always like siphon off of us. Because it seems like a vampire type relationship a lot of times with the media and the community. Because I go to a lot of things that we went to oratorical competition, graduation. Last year I did the commemoration for Gratz and for King. No news. You know what I'm saying? News don't really come by. They might take a couple pictures. They took a picture because the boy who had the camel at the prom,
he graduated from
yeah, so stuff like that. But I mean, a lot of times they only come around to use us, and when they can actually help build us up, they can put some positive stories and make people who even go through stuff be like, "Oh wow, that was right around the corner though." Right. Even though I saw boys fighting, earlier, I didn't realize that this other good story was in my neighborhood too. Like, so I think these are really important stories. We also have Catherine Searight.
Hello.
If you could tell us just a little bit about your son and what happened and just the area, that this occurred in and where you're from, and just let the people know just where you are with the situation right now.
I'm a little nervous right now.
That's all right. Take your time.
But, I'm going to talk as well as I can. It was at prom 3 weeks ago. Everybody having a good time. End of the prom, the young man that did the shooting came out with the gun, shooting. My son wasn't the target. He was trying to protect the little boy that was the target. And that's how he got shot and killed. He was a good kid, college, school. He good at a job, community, everybody loved him.
Yep.
People don't realize the ones that do this stuff, they don't only kill the person, they kill a family.
Yes.
My family is so broken right now.
Yes.
So broken right now, and it's so hard for us to try to come together because after all the sadness, everybody talking and hugging you, we got to live through this every day. Yeah. We got to look at the pictures. We got minds of thinking about what's going on, what happened, and why. Why? This little boy has been terrorizing our block, 55th Street, between Searight and Catherine, for 2 years. This same little boy has come around there and killed about 5 of our children. We have to come together as a neighborhood. Our men need to come out there, let these little boys and kids know that we have men, we have people that care, and we have children. We got to raise in that neighborhood. We got to raise these children. This is going on. They don't know what's going on. All they know is to run, and it's so sad because the neighborhood is just broken. It's broken right now.
And a lot of our callers, have a lot of experience in the city. They talk about being part of the gang wars and the various episodes in the city. And I always say that the youth, we're like the energy and the gas, and our elders are like the wisdom. So they're the steering and the brakes. But we need that balance. We need our energy and our aggression and all that, but we need it channeled in the right directions. And I always tell some of the more seasoned brothers that I speak to when we go to these events, I say we need y'all out here.
Yes.
Like them people that ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause people, and this is what happens. A lot of brothers who even call up, they'll say, I got felonies. You know what I'm saying? And society will try to write you off. Right. They'll try to be, you can't get these jobs and you can't get this kind of assistance. So you start to internalize that a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You walk around thinking, I got a record. But I tell people all the time, the type of mentality that might have got you in trouble if used in the right way, you know what I'm saying? Like a Malcolm X type of change. We need those brothers with courage. Like you said, we need men to come out and say things. Like you said, if you got the same person doing something to multiple people, at some point, we dealing with like a bully situation where people know better, but they don't really want to stand up. Right. Sometimes, I don't know a better way to say it. You need people that are about that life, about that action in a good way.
Right.
To be like, we're not going to stand for you just running through our community, destroying people's families.
None of that.
Yeah, and we don't see enough of that.
We got to realize too that we got to stand. We can't be afraid to talk. This was wrong in our community. We are so afraid to talk. They know the person.
They know the person.
Oh, Miss Searight, I can't because I got to live here. I'm not asking you to give you your name. Tell me. I don't care. I will tell them.
Wait, so they won't even tell you the name?
I know the little boy did it. His name was Butt. I know he did it.
Oh, so you were just asking them like to confirm basically that's the person.
That's the person, but they won't even do that.
Now, you say little boy. How old is this person?
He's 22.
Oh, I mean, but obviously a little boy. No, I'm saying still a little boy by the way he's acting. You out there destroying the community. We can't consider you a man.
No.
But
Those are the bad boys. Those ones taking lives. Those are the bad boys.
wow.
Those are the ones that's in the way.
And apparently, like you said, according to members of the community, this person has done this before.
He done killed about 4 or 5 people, young kids on our block. He just come around. Everybody know he's coming. Oh, Butt here. Butt's here.
That's
and
crazy.
everybody gets out the way. But yet and still, y'all know he's out there. Say something to everybody.
Right.
Let everybody know he's here. Call somebody.
Has he ever been arrested for any of these crimes?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back and continue this discussion, the Word on Violence Initiative, because there's a few points that have already been raised that we do need to deal with, and not just the men stepping up. We need to have a conversation about this political system and how these things are treated. And there's so many instances of these aggressive police officers that seem to be aggressive at all the wrong times. Because here we have a situation where we need some professional aggression from police officers who are going to really stand up to the oath that they took and make things happen. They always want to do some extra stuff. You got families in the community saying, here's your chance to do some extra stuff that the community supports. And that's when we get a lot of silence. So this is Aaron Smith, Kawesa, Jay Scott, and we're here with the members of the community who are brave enough to speak out. We want to encourage some other people to do the same. We thank y'all for waking up with words, y'all.